I've got to be really careful and really gentle. But I'm just literally choo-choo training this mouth right into here. Sometimes it can be tricky. Hey everybody, welcome to the vlog. How's your day started? Me, I am completely fine. We have a busy day today. I'm going to take you guys on a little adventure next door to kind of update you on where we're going with things. We have to move a bunch of racks today, and I'm going to show you a little tip on how to get an animal eating after assist feeding. And we're going to do that on my girl, Helen, the no-eyed ball python. What do you say? We get this day started. But for now, why don't we head next door? I've showed you guys this place before because remember, we originally were going to use this place to do a little miniature zoo. But of course, I've talked about how we've kind of changed our plans up, and we're hoping that eventually, you know, in the next 6 to 8 months or so, we're going to start working on a much larger facility for a reptile zoo. More on that in the future. But in the meantime, we decided to use this space to start to add to our collection. I know some people have been following me for some time might say, well, Brian, you downsized. Why would you want to now upsize? And I'm not going to go crazy and go back to what I was before and have tons and tons of animals, but we do want to kind of modify our collection a little bit. So we're going to raise up some animals over here. We're also going to use the basement here to hibernate, which we did last year, but now we're going to have it set up much, much better. And who knows what the future holds. But later today, I am going to start bringing in some rack systems to set up in here. And over the next few weeks, we'll start to bring animals over and figure out what's next. That is on the task today. But for right now, I'm going to go over and give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on how you can go from assist feeding a snake to the next trick if they aren't starting to eat that oftentimes work. Again, we're going to do it with Helen, the no-eyed ball python. What do you say we head downstairs? So those of you that have been following along with Helen, the no-eyed ball python right here, of course, you know that I've been assist feeding her for the last few weeks and she continues to not eat. So you might ask yourself, what happens next? Because a lot of times, once you've assist fed maybe 2 or 3 times, they oftentimes take off. She isn't. So I do have a next trick up my sleeve, and it's something that I call choo-choo training. So I'm going to kind of show you guys what I mean by the technique. So the first thing I'm going to do is the exact same way that I've been assist feeding her all along. And I'm just going to very gently get her behind the head and go ahead and get that fuzzy in her mouth. Now, as soon as she calms down a little bit and kind of gets into that position like I always do, like that, I'm going to set her down. I'm going to go ahead and let her finish this fuzzy, but then I'm going to choo-choo train a mouse right behind it. Okay, so as you can see, she's taking it really good, but we've already done this 3 or 4 times and it hasn't gotten her go. So this is the next trip. Take a small mouse and watch this. Just as she's finishing up, and her heat pits are sensing me right now, so I've got to be really careful and really gentle. But I'm just literally choo-choo training this mouth right into here. Sometimes it can be tricky. And then I just let it down like that. So you might ask yourself, well, why not just assist feed or something larger? Because when you get a large meal, it's really easy for them to spit it out. So if you start with the fuzzy, let them start to feed it, and then as they're finishing up, you just choo-choo train that big mouse to them. Then they eat that big mouse, and now they're getting a really large meal into them. The larger meal adds for more nutrition, which just kind of makes them grow a little bit and kind of pushes them into feeding. So when I fail on the assist feeding fuzzies for say 3, 4, 5 times, I'll always go to this choo-choo training, and oftentimes within 1 or 2 choo-choo trains of a mouse, they will start eating. So fingers crossed. Let's go ahead and see how she finishes this mouse. And as you can see, she took it down absolutely good. So that is going to be one huge, nice lump in her belly. And again, getting that tons of nutrition in there. It's just gonna get her stronger and get her to hopefully start feeding herself. So that's a great trick if you ever have an animal that won't start eating. Again, I always talk about I don't like force feeding and I don't like assist feeding on adults. If your adult ball python has been 5 or 6 months without food, I just say give it time. They always go back on food. I've had ball pythons go over a year without food when they're adults. So I am not an advocate of assist feeding or force feeding larger animals whatsoever. But when you have a baby like Helen here that doesn't want to eat, assist feeding does work. Then of course, after 3 or 4 assist feeding fuzzies, if they don't kick in, a Cho Cho Train method like this works almost all the time. So we'll try Helen again in a couple days, and then if she doesn't, we'll go ahead and Cho Cho Train her again next week, and we're gonna get her going. Trust me guys, I'm not giving up on her. I promise we will get this snake eating. Look at how gorgeous she is. And look at that chubby belly she's got right now. Next on my things of list to do is to head over to my father-in-law's where we keep some racks and storage units. We're gonna go pick them up and then drop them off in the building next door, so it begins. All right guys, so we are in this big truck. Well, it's not that big, it's about 15 foot, but I feel like a semi-driver. Of course, Eric is with me and we are heading over to my father-in-law's to go pick up some racks. I don't know, there's just something about like the kid that comes out in me when I'm driving a truck. It's like, yeah, I'm a trucker. As a kid, I always thought it'd be really cool to be a trucker. So, and this thing is cool. Check out this view. It's gonna be a good day. Not looking forward to moving racks, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So we are here and we're ready to see what's in this thing. We gotta unload this entire trailer today. Okay. Not too bad. All right, so we just have to get these out of here basically. Okay, this will work out, not too bad. Oh, it's warm in there. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot more work than I thought. What did you think, Eric?
Whew, that was good. That was a good haul. That was a good haul.
This is what we call BHB aerobics around here. Unloading that entire thing was a lot of work, but it's going to be really exciting to get back to the building and just see some cages get in there. Hopefully, be the beginning of something awesome. We still have to unload all this stuff. All right, so we are back here at the shop. We've got to unload this truck still. Eric is supposed to be off work at 4 o'clock. It's already almost 5 o'clock. He is such a trooper. He's not complaining. He's like, don't worry about it, we got it. So it sucks that I have to keep him here so late, but it's great to have crew that seems to care and doesn't mind working a little extra. So anyways, we've got to unload this entire truck into the new building, and it's gonna be awesome. Woo-hoo, doggy! I tell you what, that turned out to be a lot more work than I thought. I literally thought we had about half the racks that we had in storage, so this is only the first batch. We actually have a whole nother load that we're gonna have to bring over at some point that we're actually gonna put in the basement, but this is the start, guys. I mean, I realize we got a long way to go, but these are the first racks. I'm not even sure exactly how we're gonna set this place up. We definitely have to still do a little bit of kind of makeover work in this place, but it's nice to have these over here and at least here, and I can start thinking. I'm probably looking at, I bet you about 3 or 4 weeks before an animal actually comes into this building. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, but hey, we're gonna have a great time with it. And I love starting projects like this because your mind just starts to see what it's gonna eventually look like. And that's what's exciting. I love building things out and I love adding. So this is gonna be so much fun. And I hope that you guys didn't mind that I took you away from the animals and took you on this journey of moving cages around. Let me tell you what, it was a good workout and I'm definitely tired, but hey, I'm gonna take a slight break. We're gonna get back to some animals. animal stuff. So I've kind of recovered from that insanity. And you know, guys, I've always said that, you know, success is always these types of things. You know, people think I just work with snakes and animals and get the opportunity to hatch such amazing snakes and produce such gorgeous animals. But the truth is, it's all those types of things that make the success of breeding snakes possible. So anyways, enough of that. Let's just look at some really cool colubrid snakes that I'd love to update you guys on. Remember when this guy hatched here? This is the albino Chinese beauty snake. And it was kind of a surprise because I didn't even know we had fertile eggs. Well, now that they've shed and are eating, they look absolutely incredible. And there really are so many amazing snakes that we can just show you for hours and hours. But I want to just pick a handful of things that, you know, over the last day or two, I've been like, oh my God, that thing is amazing. Look at this one here. I love the stripe on this animal. This, of course, is an albino high white, black and white calking, but that stripe is just absolutely incredible. And then so many people ask me about hognose, and I really should do a lot more stuff on hognose. Of course, this is that super conda I hatched recently, and I have a bunch more hognose that I'll have to show off pretty soon, but I don't know, there's something about these super condas that just blow me away, and I have to really start getting into more hognose. I used to have so many, and I still have a bunch, but I definitely don't have the numbers that I used to have, so it's got to be on my to-do list. Again, we're raising up kind of a new colony of colubrids next door, so hognose are certainly going to be part of that raise out for sure. And I can't wait to start sharing with you all the plans that we have for like a new colony of animals, just to separate from the old colony so that we can kind of really laser focus on what we want to do in the future. This guy here is just absolutely insane. Remember those purple snakes that I hatched? Those lavender snows? Well, this is what they look like. Look at how amazing that is. Again, I've always said that I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have a purple snake when I first started. This thing is crazy cool. These are that mosaic animal, but that really wide striped California mosaic. I just love these guys, and the mosaics that I typically produce don't have this solid stripe down its back, so I'm definitely going to hold this one back and hopefully polygenically can line breed this to produce these animals. I used to have a line of calkings that I called tire tracks that were really similar to this, but unfortunately I don't work with them anymore, and I haven't seen them for a long time, so I guess it's time to restart that project. And of course, one of my favorite rat snakes would be the albino greenish rat snakes. Now these guys, when they get older, turn almost a solid orange color and really gorgeous. Again, Lori's not a big fan of these greenish rats. Ooh, what's wrong with you, little buddy? But I think they're absolutely incredible. And I noticed the other day that I was looking at our website, and I noticed that there were no spotted pythons on there. And I thought, well, I wondered why, because we hatched a whole bunch of spotted pythons. So anyways, these are little spotted pythons, but I wanted to show you the granite spotteds. Remember I showed you them when they hatched? And it was kind of a surprise. I didn't even know that the animals were het for granite, but look at how awesome those granites are. Oh my gosh, I tell you what. And these guys are finally all eating now, so I definitely have to get them on the website. I love little spotted pythons because they're a little python, but they stay so small and so cute, so I think they're absolutely incredible. You know, every now and then when I do a lot of work, like moving all those racks and all the labor that goes into it, trust me, it wears me out. So what I want to do is get around the animals and re-energize myself. And certainly just looking through these animals really kind of gets me fired back up, gets me on track. But trust me, my body is hurting. If you guys didn't see in one of those time lapses, I took a pretty nasty spill carrying one of those racks. I fell down, smashed my knee pretty good, so I think I'm hurting a little bit. But hey, again, you have to do those little things in order to be successful. So, and I'm very fortunate that Mary and Eric and my whole crew always helps out so much, and they never complain. Trust me, they didn't get hired on to move big, heavy racks. They're here to take care of animals, but yet they're always willing to step up and do whatever it takes to make our life as easy as possible. So I really appreciate them. You know, there's no better way than to end the day here just kind of hanging out with RJ and Bowser in the pond. I do this literally almost every night. It just kind of calms me down before I go home. And of course I want to spend the evening with my family because that's where I'm the happiest. But before I do that, I always spend a little time just trying to just relax here at the shop. And plus I want RJ, of course, over there in the corner, I want him to be very comfortable. And I want to kind of continue to train him in the sense that, you know, it's going to be okay that he's in his new environment, get a little bit more comfortable, and the more he sees me, the better off it is. That's why I get in the pond so much, is because I don't want him to start being aggressive or defensive when I get in with him. So it's just a matter of continuing to work with him, and then over the next couple weeks, we'll start trying to train him to get up so that we can take him out easily without having to go inside with him. But regardless, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I know this was a little bit of a weird vlog. I am kind of sorry about it, but this is just kind of part of my daily life. We had to move all these racks. We have the start of something brand new with the next store. It's finally getting off the ground. It's going to be so exciting. And I can't wait to take you guys on the journey of it. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Have an amazing day, night, evening, morning, whatever it might be. You guys mean the world to me. Can you do me a couple favors? Can you smash that like button and can you hit that notification bell? That way you know when I upload a video, which is every day at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Remember to be kind to somebody. I promise I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.